Now we have another cracker in the cruiserweight division. What a fight for the Mickey Mouse belt. Opetaia and Brandon Glanton. Now Opetaia, we know what he's about. Slick southpaw, hits like a truck, boxing IQ through the roof, where with Brandon Glanton, bit on the other side. He's rough, he's tough, brawler, just works you in and out, head body holds, push you back, makes it messy, makes it unclean, makes you smother your work, which is why all in all this has a recipe to be an amazing, tremendous 12-round war. Now with Opetaia, you'll see here with Squayo, brilliant art of counter punching, making him miss, make him smother his work, boom, catches him on the back foot. This is what he needs to do against Brandon Glanton, because Squayo and Glanton, they have a very similar style, but of course Glanton's a bit more neater with it. Although he got him out there in the 5th round, at the same time he had moments where he struggled, moments where he should have got him out the ring, but he didn't, and then he ended up getting caught and nearly stopped in the 3rd or 4th round, I believe. So overall, defensively he's solid, but he only really gets caught when he's in first gear, which sometimes he does do quite often, where he just zones out because he's usually relentless from the 1st round, where he slows the pace down, which is when he's at his least dangerous, which Square capitalised on but couldn't get the job done. And you'll see here, hold him down, bit of a dirty tactic, but then dropped him with a body shot, although I don't know how that didn't count as a body shot, but this is what he needs to do. If you go on the inside, you got to play dirty, you got to play rough, forget all this whole, let him use your weight over him. That's just so backwards, which obviously some fighters do, but this was the signature move. As I said, makes him miss, makes him pay, left hand to break his guard, as he swings, his right hand beats his, boom, on the floor, jaw broken, night night. But with David Nika, exactly the same. I'll be honest, I'll say this is probably his worst performance in my eyes. I understand he got him out in the 4th round, but that's because Nika was a late replacement and unexperienced, so obviously he went in there 100 miles an hour from the 1st, and you see he got caught in the 2nd, where he was lucky it was towards the end of the round. But in the 3rd it was more of the same, and if I'm honest, I thought Nika was just nicking it before the fight ended. I'd probably say, it was early on, but I'd say he's probably 2-1 up, and then he got the job done. So it's just one of them things where you need to be like that for 12, otherwise Opetaia will spark you out, which is what he did very nicely and very cleanly. So I think experience is key in a fight like Opetaia, and Glanton does have that, but this fight against Massey is the blueprint in my eyes. Make him miss, make him pay, because they have similar statures, similar build, similar height. Push him back, be the bully, don't let him bully you, which is what Massey's known for, especially on the domestic scene. But Opetaia, of course, didn't let that happen, slowly broke him down, dragged him to the mid rounds, got him out of there, and of course he's taking too much punishment, so what did the corner do? Throw in the towel, and that is a big possibility, I believe, in the fight against Brandon Glanton, where with Glanton, he's a solid fighter, but he's happy to take 2 to throw 3, happy to take 3 to throw 4. You can't do that against Opetaia, not in a million years, because otherwise you'll be on the backside, not knowing what day it is, and that's the last thing you want against Opetaia. So Glanton, he needs to, I'd say, make him smother his work. When he throws, jab and then hold, jab and then hold, similar to Okoli, how he does it. You just can't, you got to make it ugly, you got to make it boring. But this is why I think it'll be a recipe for a fight of the year, because he's not going to do that. I think he's going to trade in the middle like he did against Billam Smith. I think he's going to not utilise his strengths and utilise his weaknesses, which all in all is very contrasting, but you got to mix both, and I don't believe he's capable of doing that against Opetaia. Where with Marcus Brown here, it was a bit of a weird fight overall. He did what he needed to do, but the pair of them were just poor, if I'm honest. Very, very slow pace, not high quality compared to against Billam Smith, where I think we saw the best of Glanton. Landed good shots, took a few good shots, proved he has a chin, but he was the bully for the 12 rounds. Although he didn't get a nod on the scorecards and Billam Smith came on strong in the last few, the majority of the fight he pushed him back. He was the bully. You got to do that against someone like Opetaia, but go and get teed off on the back foot, because those are accumulating punches and they will add on, and you'll feel them in towards the later rounds, especially against Opetaia. Where you see against Billam Smith, he utilised them hooks, left, right, move back, and then times his hooks because he's trying to move inwards, and then he lands his shots. So I think he needs to land his shots, move back, let him come inwards, then counter like he just did. That is the key for Glanton, but will he do it against Opetaia? That is the big question. But overall, I think this is a solid fight. I do believe it's a lot closer than the odds makers have it. There's no way Opetaia should be 1-18. That is just silly. Because Glanton, he is seasoned at world level. We know what he's about. And he fought Bilham Smith. I can't remember if he did have he did have the WBO belt on the line. But of course, unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be. And you could see the difference between elite level and world level. And Glanton's just not at that elite level, as Bilham Smith showed in the last few rounds where he kept rocking him, boxing him, and making him look silly. But you see so many times when he fought Bilham Smith, his chin was so low that uppercut was free. The uppercut was just free all night long, and he didn't make any adjustments, where that's the sign of someone who's limited. They don't make adjustments mid-fight. They just do the same tactics as they do. They get beat to the punch, do what they usually do, and rely on that, where you need a plan A, B and C. And it looked like he just had a plan A, which he done brilliantly in the first half, but when it came to the second half, he faded because, again, that plan A is not going to last for 12 if Bilham Smith reads it quickly. Now, the keys to victory is quite simple. Push him back and throw. You got to push him back and just throw quantity over quality of punches. That is the key. With smart volume punches, you got to pick your punches. You don't throw and hope, because if you throw and hope, Joe Opetaia, he'll come over with that left hand, because as we see, even when he's on the back foot, he has the power to knock you out clean. And as I say, hold, land after the break. When you hold, just push him back, turn him, then lead him with the left hook, and then boom, he might be on the canvas, as you never know. Now, with Opetaia, just jab low, jab high. Do what you need to do with that jab, because when you jab low, jab high, like he did against Ellis Zorro, he created openings in the first and got him out of there. Check hook to avoid the clinches, because that is the key when you're fighting someone who likes to clinch, likes to hold, likes to make it messy and smother your work. And keep the fight at bay, which is key with the check hook. Because if you keep the fight at bay, utilise your reach, don't give it up. That is an easy night's work for Joe Opetaia. Now, this is a weird one, because I can see this fight happening in many ways. I can see Glanton wearing him and tiring Opetaia out. I can see Opetaia sparking him out early to late rounds. I can see so many outcomes of the pair, but the more I play the fight in my head, the more I research and analyse both of them stylistically, I do believe that the experience and the elite level of Opetaia will get him over the line. I do believe he currently is just on a different level. Bear in mind, although he's the IBF champion, which he might not be for longer, because obviously he's going to be the Mickey Mouse champion when he wins this, I do believe he'll get Brandon Glanton out the fight. I do believe it will probably, if I had to say what rounds, I'm not saying do these rounds, but I'd say maybe around mid to late rounds. I don't think it'll be an early night's work, but I think Opetaia will get it done. He will get him out of there. He will be victorious. It will be competitive. Glanton might nick a round or two, but Opetaia will show them levels, up the gears, and get him out there before the 12th round. Now that is all for today. Hope you enjoyed this fight breakdown, and as always, which is the most important, this ain't financial advice. This is just what I'll be betting and backing based off my own research. Plus, feel free to check the link below for my VIP premium betting boxing group. Have a great day, boys, and have a good rest of your weekend.